Hey guys, we are going to go over how to pull comps on RPR. So first, what we want to do is make sure that we have the public data pulled up from the tax records. This is going to tell you the address, property owner, their address, and then property characteristics can be found in two places. You can get some up here and then down below, property characteristics of the building. This is where it's going to tell you what bedroom and bathroom count it is and what the public record shows for this property. So this is what we typically like to base our comps off of. If it is, like this property is a 3-bedroom, if it is a 4-bedroom on the MLS, but a 3-bedroom on public record, the appraiser is going to go with what the public record says, but the buyer may end up realizing, hey, got to pay a little bit extra for that extra bedroom. So they will, but you always want to advise for the buyer to check the permits. We can show them where to pull permits, but we can't pull it for them. So it's always just good to know what this information is before you go in and pull comps. And then we'll want to make note of it. Awesome. Let's see, where'd it go? There. So this is the property we're going to look up, 3118 Mount Diablo Street. And when I do the search, I'm going to go over here to this panel where it says CMA. You can also get a ton of information here on this front page as well if you're just looking up a property to look up the basic info about it. So we'll go to CMA because that's the purpose of what we're doing today. Again, this little blue bar is going to follow you along when you are in the CMA process. And what's cool about RPR is that it goes down a checklist here. And then here, you just have to make sure you hit these blue buttons to move forward. And what this website is it's the National Association of Realtors, Realtor Property Resource, RPR. Cool, so we'll go to confirm the facts. This is where you can say if it's, a 4-bedroom or a 3-bedroom on the MLS. This is where that data is gonna go. I'm just gonna populate this in. Just some basic facts. And then, as I said, down here, you want to click the blue button to hit confirm facts and continue. Cool. Now it took us to step number 2. Now that this is done, we're going to go to find comps. And I like to scooch this out just a tad here. So depending on the area, like some areas, as an example, like the monument corridors here, is different than this neighborhood over here, right? So you want to be really mindful of when you're doing these shapes. But first, let's go over to this top piece here, right below the number 2, where my cursor is. You can add a known property. So if you already know property that is a really good comp for this, you can add this in here. Or if it's on the MLS, but you don't see it listed on the RPR once you're done with this other part, then you can add that property in here. So for now, we're going to search this way. Alrighty, cool. So it's a single family residence. I usually like to see properties that are pending, under contract, those 2 options there. Within the last 6 months, you can go down to 12 is the max. You want to try for around 6 months to start with. Again, unless it's areas like Maxwell Park in Oakland, then you should be doing a little bit tighter, closer to 3. But for this area, let's start with 6 months and see what we get. Bedroom, bathroom count, I'm going to reference up here to see what it was. Right on. And then we can always scooch these down. We don't really want to see homes that are higher than the bedroom bathroom count. If we can get those within the first or the last 6 months or a year, we really want to see the same bedroom bathroom count. But like I just saw a property today that was a 6-bedroom. That's a little bit out there. You're going to have to dig really deep for comps that large in that community. It's mostly 4- and 5-bedroom homes. So there's going to be those outliers, but typically we like to stay right in line with the bedroom and bathroom count. If it's, 1.5 bedrooms, of course, we want to include that as well. Living area, we usually like to bump this all the way down personally, because there could be like a 600 square foot home that was just decked out to the nines and had an ADU, right? But that's why there's, again, those outliers. So I like to leave this blank. Living area square footage. So this square footage is this. So we're going to do 20% of that number here. And I am doing this on my calculator. Live session. Cool. So to this number, I'm going to add that. And so it's about 450 square feet larger. Okay. Yeah, 1,500 is actually pretty much on the money. Lot size, it can be a smaller lot. Let's see, this lot size is 5,000. So in this area, it's usually about 7,500 or 5,000 square foot lots. So now that this part's done, we're going to go draw a shape in this area. I like to do a radius, especially for this little area out here. I'm going to do a 1/2 mile radius like so. And you just take your cursor and move it along right there. And then I'm going to search in this area. Right on, give us 9 properties. I'm going to hit this price button. That way it shows me the highest price property first. So this is telling me the information about this property. How, this little legend up here is going to be super helpful to have you know what the columns mean. And if I go into details, I can see the lot square footage easily as well. And if they have a pool, AC, good stuff, good stuff. And then if you want to check to see what it looks like, to vary it on condition of the property, whether it's a fixer or like the super baller place, click on the button for the property that you're looking at versus, and then you can check out the pictures. And it'll also give you MLS data here as well. It's a really cool tool, actually. Super cool. Okay, so this place is way more decked out than the place I'm trying to sell, but they also want to see the variances, right? What is something that's super decked out going to look like versus something where they're at now that it needs some fixing up for sure. This one's got solar. We can include that. I mean, it's based on the buyer's credit, whether they can get the home that has solar or not, but I mean, varying it on a CMA, we don't give it much weight. Okay, this one's got no pictures. I'm actually just going to choose a couple real quick, just for the sake of the exercise. I'm going to choose this one that's super gorgeous. Here's another 3-2. This one's way smaller, right? So this we probably wouldn't want to put in there because the sold price is much lower than what my clients think that they want for the property, right? They're looking for around that 700 mark. So I don't want to fudge up my numbers by adding in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath that has only 74 square feet that closed from much lower than what my clients are even hoping to get for their home. So these babies we're going to leave out. This one's pending. Again, it's super going to mess with the numbers. This one closed on public record, so off market, and this is the estimated value. So that's not really a good value to go off of. Plus, it's way lower than what my folks were looking for. So let's see what this one looks like. This one's got a pool. I'm actually gonna go out a little bit further, go out to a year, because I know I just sold one and another teammate of ours sold one in that area. Let's modify the search. We're gonna go up here and change this to 12 months in the search box. And then I'm gonna redo that search in that area. Again, I'm gonna hit the price button so it'll show me the highest priced ones first. And this property, I mean, it's got a lot of concrete issues around the back. So I actually am not gonna comp it out past 750 because these are like crazy, crazy gorgeous homes. Not at all a good comp. Okay, cool. Here's the ones I was looking for. So this one, we got to represent the buyer on that one. Add in a couple more of these. It's a really great square footage. The square footage on this one is 1,130, again with 5,000 square foot lot, which is what most of these are. And this one, I'm actually going to take out of here because I have comps that are closer to that 7 range. Let's see, it's a little bit smaller. No, we'll keep it in. Let's see, did that one have a picture? This is the beauty of watching this live, guys. You kind of get to hear the commentary we say when we're doing this. Okay, the kitchen on this is super small, but so is the one on their place. Yeah, this is what theirs would look like. So actually, I am going to keep that in there. That would probably be right around our ask price, is in the high 6s. Let's see, that one. Let's check this one out. This, I think, is the same exact layout. So in this neighborhood in Concord, there's like a few main styles that they used. Oh, actually, it's not the same layout. Pretty close, pretty close. That is a great comp too. Cool. So we got a couple low guys, a couple high guys, and that's what you want to do. You want to give them a range because this is for, as I should have said earlier, apologies, this is for sellers. If it was for buyers and if I've gone through the property and I've really checked out the condition, then I'd probably want to be a bit more picky about these comps. Let's see, how many are we giving the buyer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's a good amount to go off of. So we're going to click update and evaluate. Now it sent me down to step 3, adjust comps. This is what's called the appraisal view. This is how appraisals are usually laid out. And they usually do most like-kind property first. So this one was super gorge. Lot size is a bit larger. So I'm actually, this one's going to go towards the end. That one's really high. I think the rest of them look pretty okay. It's funny, this is the best comp, is the other home that they owned. Oh, there's 6. Aha. This would be the 3rd comp. So it's not always necessarily based on price as to how I lay these out. Sometimes it is, but like here, going from a high one, which they know this one already. They redid the kitchen in this one. It was like really gorgeous. Went for like 80,000 over asking, I think. Maybe it was 60. And then these two are pretty much spot on the money, right? For square footage. This one I'm gonna move just a second. There. Cool. When I feel good about the adjustments that I've made, and you could also do this, how does it compare to the subject property? I don't usually mess with that. I let the numbers speak for themselves, not my objection or subjective view of it. So now we're going to go to update valuation and close. Okay, cool. We're at step number 4 now, results of the comp analysis. So it's giving us a pretty wide range here. You can leave it as is. But I mean, these are pretty close to rounded numbers. So, and I know that the price that they, oh, did my keyboard quit working? No, we're good. The price that they were hoping for was like in the 7s. So we're gonna mark it at 7 because it does need work and they are well aware of that. The lowest comp I recall was 680. It's also giving me that range here. The highest comp that we showed on there was 750. So I'm actually gonna just bump that down. Just gives it a little bit cleaner of a range versus what the original result was, right? The original result's not this like polished number. Just be really mindful that you're not, you know, setting too wide of expectations for either party. Cool, so that looks a lot cleaner now. Now we're gonna go to 5, create report. And then this is where we're like, oh, what just happened? Don't worry. Okay, so this is a full page of stuff. You're going to scroll up to the top. There are other things up here, okay? So up here are your previous reports that you've recently done. RPR has been having a heck of a time for some reason. It's been messing up. Hopefully it doesn't do that this time. But you can also adjust what's going to be on your front page here. You can show page numbers. This is your profile that you can edit here. So that's what these other items are over here. Let's get back to the CMA. That's what we're here for. You're going to select a report. The seller's report's the one that I usually go with for CMAs. There's a market activity report that's really cool for looking at neighborhood temperatures and like really in-depth information. It's like how many pages? 26 pages about a specific neighborhood. So it's really key for those folks that are looking for somewhere, you know, like Maxwell Park, downtown Martinez, Benicia on the water, right? Like those specific neighborhoods, that's what it's really good for. But for this exercise, we're going to do the seller's report. If you keep it as it is, it's 81 pages long, and that is mad overwhelming. You can view a sample of all of these here, or to see more options, you're going to click this plus button. When you click that, it's going to give you a drop-down menu for the seller's report. Quick screenshot or write down, these are the report elements that I keep in my report. You can choose to use different ones. I like having the listing price popped in there, the comp analysis result and range, refined value, market activity, market health, charts and comparisons. That is for our analytical folk. So this is the recent market activity. I like to have your comps clearly. Active pending, recently sold, and then there's a recommended pricing strategy, comp analysis calculation, and then where we pull this information. And then we're going to have it just include 2 pages. We're going to limit it to 4 properties in the sections. So yeah, this is what it should look like. Include public records. And then here you can personalize your report. If you're just out in the car and you're sending it to them as you're jumping into to go see another property, you could email it directly to them instead of waiting for the PDF. What we're going to do is wait for the PDF. So we're actually just going to run this real quick. And there it goes. So it's going to take a few minutes to populate, but let's find one that's already done. Perfect. So this is a RPR report that's already complete, super sleek looking. I think it looks awesome. This is a property in San Ramon. So yeah, it's got any info for your analytical people to look at. And then you always want to let your folks know where your comps start, because we're down 9 pages deep and it just started on comps. We don't want people to have to figure that on their own. So tell them, hey, my comps start on page 9. Everything else is just great information for you. Definitely advise you to check it out, especially if you want to see the data. But my comps do start on page 9. Or if you want to just print out your comps, you know, page 9 to 15 or whatever it is, you can also just print that out for like a really detailed view. So there's your comps map. Here's what it'll look like when everything is done in the side-by-side view. And then you'll also have a full page of the properties that are in your comp analysis. If they keep scrolling down, they're going to see now select recent market activity for the zip code. And this is all over the place. 2.4 to 1.4, like super all over the place and random, right? So we tell them, hey, my comps are on pages 9 to whatever that next page is. Okay. Recommended pricing strategy. This is giving them a breakdown of the sold, the closed, or sorry, the for sale, the closed, expired listings, and pending sales. Everything's going to be here. Average of the comps. Just super good stuff. They could do a net sheet on the back of this. And then there's also the About Us page about RPR and where they pull their data from. Hope this was helpful, and holler if you guys have any questions.